bear with me. The Wii message board is one of the coolest parts of the system. Don't click away! I swear, it gets cool, okay? Alright? So, when you think about the Wii message board, you probably think about the daily log telling you how long you've played games for. You may think about how you sent messages to friends. In this official Nintendo example, a grandma's taken a picture of a cat that wasn't hers using a camera, taken the SD card out, gone to the Wii photo channel, and sent it to her grandson's Wii message board. Honestly, I did this a ton. Not the cat thing, but sending messages. It would usually just be the 3 letters MSN to try and talk elsewhere about Tatsunoko vs Capcom in Brawl, but we'd also buy each other gifts on our birthdays from Virtual Console and WiiWare. It's hard to believe, but all the way back in 2006, Nintendo allowed you to gift games to friends. And there's nothing even remotely like that today in 2023. Not just on Switch, but PlayStation too. You'd get a special gift wrap letter from a friend that would contain like Mario RPG or Super Metroid or something. It always made birthdays really special when the Wii would light up. Is that sad? I don't know, but it was cool. However, while that stuff is really cool and ahead of current systems, it's how games use the message board that I really want to talk about, because some of it is very ahead of its time. With the PlayStation 4, a dedicated capture button was put right in the center of the controller and has become a mainstay of every system, whether it's PlayStation, Xbox, or Switch. Without these sharing tools, games like Breath of the Wild probably wouldn't be anywhere near as huge as they are. But what if I told you that we could actually take screenshots back in 2006, and a few games even had a dedicated capture button you could press at any time? Yeah, the Wii did that. Both the Metroid Prime Trilogy and Animal Crossing Let's Go to the City or City Folk have button maps to take a screenshot at any moment. You have to unlock it for Metroid, but once you do, just pressing up on the D-pad takes a screenshot and sends it straight to the Wii message board. Animal Crossing is similar. Pressing 1 takes a screenshot, and then you go to the town hall and physically send it to the message board from there. Once it's there, not only is it a permanent reminder that you can see at any moment, but you can forward it to friends from the Wii message board and show them exactly what you've done. Or go to the photo channel and play around with it. Make it a slide puzzle, draw on it, view it in a majestic slideshow. Kirby's Epic Yarn could do this too somewhat, only in the hub world and in Kirby's Flat. Yeah, that's what they called it in the PAL version, Kirby's Flat. But the raddest use of screenshots has to be Pokemon Snap. And that wasn't even a native game, it's a Virtual Console game. Back on N64, you could physically take your cartridge to a Blockbuster kiosk and print out your snaps. And they somewhat revived that on Wii. When looking at your pictures in the gallery, if you press the minus button on the controller, it'll take a screenshot and send it straight to your Wii message board. Although for whatever reason, only one per day, and I'm not sure why. Nintendo are funny sometimes. Metroid doesn't do that. Metroid just floods your message board with screenshots if you want it to. They really didn't have to do this. I mean, the Wii U Virtual Console version didn't do this, although I guess you could post it onto the Miiverse message board and put your picture on there when Miiverse was alive. But this Wii solution is going the extra mile, and it's so cool. This was very ahead of its time. PlayStation 3 and 360 didn't have anything like this. Super Mario Galaxy had a more restrictive use. I mean, yeah, you could take screenshots, but only of your star count. And I guess you'd send that to a friend and be like, look at all the stars I have. But similar to how Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine had post-game celebration pictures, Galaxy 1 and 2 would also do this, apart from it wouldn't be a fleeting moment after the credits, but a permanent part of your Wii message board. You can see this picture whenever you want. How rad! Mario Kart Wii does the exact same thing when beating the final cup of the standard races or the retro tracks, and again, it's really cool. Look, that's me with Mario and Peach! So hidden screenshot functionality is fantastic, but that is not the cool message board feature this video is about. What I think is crazy is when features of the game would extend to the message board, and that's very specific and very few games did this. In fact, only really one game did this. I mean, yeah, there's a few lesser examples like how Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort would give you notifications like, John got a silver medal in golf target practice. And that's nice. Like if you share a system with a family, you can kind of compete with each other by seeing these messages. Like you can go on the system like, oh, my brother got a gold, I've got to get a platinum. Like that's kind of cool. But no, what this video is really about is a very underrated game called Calling. It's kind of hard to take a horror game seriously with the Hudson Soft B. I mean, it's just kind of a buzzy B. Cooling makes such cool use of Wii's hardware. The pointer controls may be a bit too sensitive in this one, but I always love using the Wii Remote like a flashlight. And the gist of the game is basically you explore these abandoned buildings, whether it's a school, a hospital, or a house, and you'll have these first-hand encounters with ghosts, but they also communicate with you through your phone, which is done through the Wii Remote speaker. It's not the best speaker in the world, but it's really convincing at being a phone. Rad as flip. It's also filled with a bunch of optional scares that you'll probably never see, and some fourth wall breaks, like if you pause the game for quite a long time and then return to it, this can happen. I don't know if you saw that, but for a few frames there was a ghost just lurking straight in the camera. That's what you get for pausing. But the real champion of cooling is the Wii message board. The game sends a couple of images here, like quite early on a character dies just off screen so you can't really see what they look like. But if you return to the Wii menu, you get this image showing exactly how their body ended up. It works really well within the context of the game too, because the ghosts are communicating with you through a phone. And so the Wii message board is quite similar technology, so it just kind of works, it's just spooky. The creepiest of all of them though comes pretty late in the game with the lady in red. There's a few secret areas scattered around the late game and they're really easy to miss. Like for this one to appear, you've first got to explore a ton and trigger a few encounters like this one here, which really isn't anything. But once you've met its criteria, a tiny eye appears on this wall over here, and if you inspect it, see what happens. That is the lady in red, and it's a really spooky encounter, but not much really happens. Right? Uh-oh. How flipping creepy. By the way, I think this might be the first direct feed capture of this feature. It's not really documented anywhere, and the only screenshot on the internet seems to be the soft TV shot, which may look creepier, but yeah, here it is. Here's a direct feed capture of this letter. It's so cool. The hand-drawn text, the slightly crumpled looking paper. This was the perfect game to use a feature like the Wii message board, and it's such a shame so few developers tried doing something similar. To be honest, I think we've covered pretty much every single game that used the message board in this video. It was extremely underutilized, but it's still a key part of the Wii's identity. Whether it's seeing what days of the month you've played games, leaving very important memos for other members of family to see, talking with friends, gifting games, or an extension of the games themselves, it was intrinsically a Wii feature. And if calling ever finds itself on other platforms, it simply won't be as cool without the Wii message board. Before we go, seeming as I've been diving into a bunch of menus in this video, I'm gonna leave you with Xenoblade's save data icon. It's stuff like this that we're missing out on with modern systems. Thank you so much for watching everyone, and I'm sorry that I've been away for a while. For those who don't know, I've just had a son who has quite bad medical conditions, so I've taken around a month off, and that wouldn't have been possible without supporters like you and those on Patreon. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.